All right, good morning. Right back where we left off on the AM briefing. All right, let's hit our daily reminders here for Tuesday. My goodness. Come on. That's so hyper responsive. All right, let me get this back to here. All right, so entry reminders. Is it a clean, clear, crisp level? Is it obvious? Is it just sticking out like a sore thumb? Um, is it something that a very beginning trader to our system would mark? Those are the better levels to trade. Has it been tested? Of course, that's most important when it comes to break levels, right? And keep it on your chart until it's broken. Put the word tested on your line. Do I have a backup level? I like backup levels, but they're not required. I tried to prove that having backup levels improved win rate or things like that. Honestly, I couldn't. So they're not required, but boy, it gives me warm fuzzies. Sometimes you're lucky you get like a break level with a backside like 3 points away, and you're like, oh my gosh, just gives you more confidence. It gives me more confidence. What is the distance of your ideal stop loss? It all starts there because that's how you reference your leverage metrics to determine how many contracts you can trade given the ideal stop loss. So where are you wrong? Not you, but where's the trade wrong? That's the ideal stop loss. If price gets to here, my thesis for this long is wrong, or my thesis for this short is incorrect. Just because the ideal stop loss, let's say, is 8 points away, it doesn't mean you have to take an 8-point loss. It's there for things that happen catastrophically. Maybe there's a tweet released at that exact moment. You forgot about a news event. You lose your internet. Your mouse stops working. Like a lot of things can happen, and that's why you want to know where the ideal stop loss is. You trade within your leverage metrics, and sometimes that stop loss is too far for your account. It's too far for your tolerance. It's too far because it would get you too close to your freak out number. So yesterday we called two longs that had a less than a 3-point stop loss. Maybe you wait for those trades. So what is your ideal stop loss? Am I with trend? Are we parabolic? Are we in slop and chop? Where are we in slop and chop? Kind of the theme of this morning's AM briefing. Trade the edge. Where are those edges? That's one of my jobs, is to help make sure you know where you're at on the chart. Does this entry deserve full risk, or should I dial it down? Just because your leverage metric says you can trade 6 micros, maybe on this one you just take 1. Maybe you take 2. For whatever reason, it's okay to dial it down. You ask traders of many, many, many years. Hello, Sonia. What's the number one thing that traders who fail, why do they fail? They size too big. It's just the universal truth. They size too big. So yeah, never ever just jump into a trade because you know or have a hunch what price will do. Never ever. The reason why is that honestly it goes to the AM briefing this morning where the trader devotional was about, are you going to serve a risk first trade management system, or are you going to be impulsive? And when you jump into a trade, you're being impulsive. It's not a repeatable process. All of a sudden you think you're the king of the chart and know exactly what price is going to do. That's going to lead you down a wrong way versus I am going to be disciplined. I am going to wait for price to come to me. I'm going to draw that level. It either gets there or it doesn't. Either it bounces or it doesn't. And I'm going to wait patiently for my next trade. Now, that if you jump into a trade, it can lead you down a bad road. Because it can lead you down a bad road, you really don't want to do that. Now, let's say you're up 100 points this week, okay? Whatever the number is, you're up 100 points this week.
30-minute overnight levels, especially front sides.
And you want to gamble, and that's the right word, 6 points on jumping into this trade. That's not the end of the world. You can journal that. But what you've got to be mindful of, did I just allow myself to do the just this once justification? You want to be mindful of that. That can lead you down a bad road. How many ladders have we made? That's really important on the short side. I don't like to short after the second or third ladder. Certainly after the fifth to seventh ladder and 5 strong levels, we're looking for a reversal trade. And that's where I make my best money. I never need to be short on ES, in my opinion. You never have to short ES to do really, really well. Every month, new inflows of capital are being purchasing the S&P. Look at the monthly chart. Look at the weekly chart. You tell me which side you should be on mostly. And that's why in the battle plans, if I post 5 trade ideas, 4 of them are longs, maybe 1 short. So stops are just insurance for your business. They're a cost of doing business. It allows you to trade another day. Stops provide information. What is it telling you? Often it's telling you, am I on the wrong side of price action? 2, was that a legit level? Seriously, was that a legit level? Am I on the wrong side of price action? If you take 2 shorts, stop, you're probably on the wrong side of price action, aren't you? If you are continually entering trades with a 3 contract system and you TP, and the lotto runner gets out at break even, you do it again, lotto runner gets out at break even. What is that telling you? You're probably trading in the middle of the range. You want to zoom back a little bit and look at where you're trading. So stops provide information. And in fact, if you wanted a great practice, when you're journaling and you take a stop, write down, what did that stop tell me? And you might start noticing a trend for you. Like, wow, maybe it's counter trading. Maybe it's prediction trading. Maybe it's, man, I keep losing where I'm at on the chart and I'm trading the middle of the range. What is that stop telling you? So, you want to supercharge a little bit of your journaling. If you take a stop, add a little section. What did that stop tell me? Be a professional loser. You are. So welcome, losers. Welcome. YouTube losers as well today. Except for Sonia, Darren's wife. Totally not a loser. Although you want to be a good loser. So, if there's anything to aspire to, it's to being a good loser. Which, think about it. When your kid first gets into sports, what is one of the things you want them to be? Be a good loser and be a good winner, but learn to take losses with dignity. And it's not the end of who you are as a person that you took a stop. You're going to have red trades, red days, red weeks, and maybe even a red month. So, okay. From the battle plan last night in the AM briefing, I shared this chart. I wanted you to know where you were. We're looking for an edge, and you can trade back to the middle. Look for an edge and trade back to the middle. That is the best trading when you are in slop and chop. Eventually, we will break out one way or the other way and make a big move and go to a new area of the chart. I mean, what does price tend to do? Price tends to slop and chop here for days and sessions, and then it breaks out and it does it again. And then it'll often, what will it do? Come back and retest it. Make sure that that's good, right? And generally, ES goes this direction. So it's generally going to resolve to the north. And that's why when this is happening here, we and our group, we are looking to get long down in this area. Hold a runner for that break. That's what we try to do. That's the best trading system there is. Now, if for some reason you go short up here, sure, hold a runner just in case that thing breaks to the south. Just in case. Costs you nothing to hold on to a financed runner. So I kind of put two magnets here. Where do I think the edges are here? Where I would want us to go, where I might be interested in trading. I'm going to go ahead and delete this. I don't trade the first 6 minutes. So let's update our chart. I have got levels here I have not marked yet. This is the Asia overnight low. Let's turn on the magnet tool. We got the London overnight low here. And what a weird day this was, where Asia was bigger than London. Usually it's this. London takes out both sides of Asia with a vengeance, right? So we have this RTH low here, and actually it's an IB low. I know I marked that, but maybe I moved it. I don't know, or deleted it. IB low, and what do you need to put here? What note do you need to add here? Not tested in RTH. Okay? Not tested in RTH. Let's go ahead and add our RTH high here. Beautiful. Okay. And then here we got the London low. So we'll go ahead and mark it to be thorough. Overnight low for London. Now we got overnight high. You know, if you want to be thorough there, you put add London. And technically this is the overnight low. Overnight low. And add the notice, the London overnight low as well. I did not mark out my half back before the market opens, which is easier to do with our indicators, but I'm going to go ahead and throw on here. Let's make this the RTH half back. Beautiful. Delete, delete. All right. Got to give bulls the benefit of the doubt. We're in the upper distribution of this multi-session profile. I really have no interest in longing here. So I don't really have anything I'm that interested in here, guys. Got to be honest. Boy, if you could have gotten long down there, let's go to a 1 minute chart down here. Actually, we'll just go to 3 minute chart, our home base chart. The entry was here. I know it missed Scott by 1 tick. You had to be up at 3 a.m., but boy, paid. Nice 30 pointer there, and you're still holding a lotto runner. I did have a short at 68.50, value area high, 30-minute front side in a fair value gap. It missed me. I actually was short here, up 7 points, and I kept my stop at 1 tick. I only had 1 contract, and of course it came back and got me. Actually 2 ticks, because that pays for commissions and 88 cents in profit, I think, on 1 micro. So I did take a short there. Why? Because it was bouncing off that 30-minute. We're getting laddering there, and I took the second ladder against the front side. So yeah, I was up 7 points at 1 point. Part of me so wanted, and the proper play was to follow that at 50%. So in all honesty, I should be up 3 points. But I just kept it at 1 tick because it was at the top of the value area. And if we went back to POC, which is down here, I mean, that's a really nice trade. So it wasn't going to hurt me. I actually had a 3-point stop loss on that. So then I moved it to break even, or, commissions. All right, so let's go look at everybody else. We're still inside the first 6 minutes of trading. Is anyone doing anything crazy? Well, man, NQ is still showing lots of strength. Dow still kind of going, nah, and Dow's making lower lows and lower highs. So did we yesterday. And at this point, if this is the high of the day, we made another lower high. Okay. We made another lower high. Almost past the first 6 minutes, back and forth through the opening. Failure to push up there and grab the overnight high, which really isn't that important because it just happened. Um, doesn't mean I can go short. If I was interested in a short, I really want it to go higher. I really want it to go higher. Preferably up to the strong range would be great. If we could push up to there, that'd be fantastic. I don't have to be long to it. This would have been the ideal long. And actually, this would have been the next ideal long right here. You knew it grabbed liquidity. It fair value gapped over the strong range, retested the top of the strong. There's your entry there as well. So if this one missed you, that would have been the next entry. And you're still holding your lotto runner. Yeah. You'd have taken something off at 10 points for sure. Easy. And then your lotto runner. And if you'd have been up early. Joe, if you were long from this RTH session, where would your stop most likely be? RTH session closed, you were holding your runner. Where would your stop most likely be? No. I'm talking about the average person. It's going to be under the low. As this thing dips down in here, there's tons of orders here, setting here. So they often will dip down, grab those orders, and off they go. And that forms the genesis of most of our battle plan trades. All right, so grab the London. Nice 8-point candle there. Does that make sense now? For some people, that's a light bulb moment. Somewhere over here, I would love for it to go, but I would take it coming to the strong range. That would be great. Nice push up there. Bulls control. Hard for me to long up here though, so I just have nothing. I wait. You only need one good entry and hold that runner. Doubles. And look at NQ. Its all-time high is still way up there. And he means jump on the train short. When bulls control, it's the most beautiful thing. So Scott, all of your thinking for that entry was perfect. It was perfect. It was perfect. I would actually journal that entry because that was perfect. And in fact, in the new trade journal, I'm sorry, not the new trade journal, the trade plan builder, in the section where they're picture perfect entries, like that one would qualify of what we're looking for. Like that's what you're looking for. All right, bulls control, laddering to the north. Um, yeah, I understand. All right. You know, one thing we know about when bulls are in that
No level,
balance.
no trade, period. Make price come to you. No prediction trading. What are the break levels telling you?
One day it's going to break. Is this the break? Not yet. Not yet. But it's certainly pushing the edge here. Well, we didn't pull down deep enough for those battle plan trades to become activated. So, nor did we get the short set up. So, oh well. We now wait for something new. The 4-pack is pretty much all over the place. If Dow was down a little bit more, we would have a ball in every quadrant. Let's drop down in time frames here. Just take a peek. We know the signature we're looking for if we're interested in getting short. Hasn't happened, of course. No news drivers, the best I could tell. Bulls control, shorts. I'm going to say just based off bulls control, shorts are counter. But we also know we're in a massive chop zone and we're near the top of that chop zone. So if it presented me a clean, clear, crisp short, I would probably take it, even though it's counter. This guy give me something pretty juicy. Ooh, look at NQ. We are not all on the same train. Dow's pushing straight down. NQ's pushing straight up. Now, if Dow pushed down a little bit more and started laddering back, we're probably springboarding to the north. Got to give the bulls the benefit of the doubt until proven otherwise. Don't get too excited by blue candles. Get excited by structure. Get excited by something that you can journal. You can take a screenshot of that and go, look at that entry I took. That was legit. Get excited by that. We are on a 1 minute chart. We did grab the overnight high. Failed to grab that RTH high, which is very interesting. Is that the canary in the coal mine sort of thing? Come on. Get up there. Nothing that gets me too excited. Mr. Caleb. Thank you, sir. Still above the opening, above an upward slanting VWAP. ES and NQ are pretty much in sync. That's what matters the most. So far, nothing I could even outline as an entry that I would be interested in. Let's go higher. I really want it to come up here. So we got an RTH high, a weekly high that was not tested in RTH. It took it in the maintenance period, if I remember exactly. Not my favorite place to trade, right at an RTH high when the bulls control. Trade location. Trade location. Normally we talk about the opening as a long here. I just don't like where we are on the chart for me to go long. Um, you do you know that's a staple trade if that's what we do. But I can't yet, and I felt it's prudent to be cautious here of a long. Also, one of the trades I encourage you not to do um, is when it grabs that liquidity, looking for an opposite. So it grabbed this overnight, right? I almost grabbed the RTH. And as it's coming back in, I'd be real careful taking the first long after that. Um, so it's the other thing in my mind. So I'll just watch and, watch what happens at the opening. Under these conditions, we are laddering up. Bulls certainly control. Um, um, I just wish we hadn't grabbed that overnight high, um, and push and laddering back into it. But boy, look how nice and responsive the opening was. You got to like it, even under those conditions. My humble opinion, your mileage may vary. Dow got back up over its VWAP. Bulls control. I really would like to see us push up here, either come to this strong range here or even higher. Absolutely nothing. And if for some reason this thing started deciding to vomit, I would zoom out and look at the battle plan trades from last night. All right, back to the opening. Man, we need some kind of interrupter event. You know, all the indices are just in balance. They're waiting for a catalyst. Is that next week at FOMC? Probably. Remember, next week we got FOMC and we start contract rollover. So from Wednesday to the next Tuesday, in all honesty, if you're looking for a week break, that's the week to take, from Wednesday to the following Tuesday. FOMC through contract rollover. And then you know what that Friday is? Option expiration. So got an interesting week and a half coming up next week. My goodness. Go back to our home base chart, 3-minute chart. So far, no entries. I can't even map one out really. So I'm just waiting. Well, if we got up here, I would. But not here. NQ pushing back up. Dow pushing back down. Russell pushing back down. Big battle. Come on, let's go higher. I'm closer to a short than I am a long, I think, if we could push higher here. I'm closer to a trade, is what I should have said, if we can push higher. If we push down, I got a long ways to go before I'm interested in another trade. Remember, this 68.50 was a 30-minute front side. So certainly is having some difficulty getting over that. Um, I wish you'd go ahead and grab these two RTH highs here. We're only inside the first 22 minutes of the opening. No big deal. We wait. On how close NQ is to being under previous day low, not NQ, Dow. Don't get too excited by blue candles, guys. As soon as someone sees an 8-point down candle, they're thinking, how can I get short? Takes a while to beat that out of you. One thing I'd say, there seems to be no sellers in the market. Just because there's blue candles doesn't mean a whole lot. Laddering tells the story. As logically as possible, at this moment, we are under the opening and above VWAP. No man's land. Bulls control. We are near the top of the multi-day profile. It's a better place to look for a short than a long, but man, it's just not giving me anything. Four pack is all over the place still. Russell doesn't know what it wants to do. Two of us are above VWAP, two of us are under.
Bigger picture, single prints, ranges.
One above previous day high. We're in the upper distribution. Russell's in the upper distribution. Dow's in the lower distribution. RTH looks disgusting like yesterday's RTH. Overnight had better trades. Overnight had better trades so far again. I'm about sick of seeing the overnight session have all the fun. Four minutes to the top of the hour. Still waiting for a setup. You know, it's like when you go fishing, they just aren't biting right now.
Stretch, workout, get up.
It's a good idea. I'm going to get up and stretch. Bulls control. We're near the top of the profile that we drew out for last night's battle plan and discussed this morning. Laddering is still telling us north is the direction. Still got this RTH high, and this RTH high is targets above. I'm going to drop to a 1 minute chart here for a second. Okay, looks like we're reclaiming the opening. Bounce off the VWAP there. Could be a time that if you wanted to entertain the idea of taking a long off the opening to target levels above. That's not what I wanted. If it grabs the RTH high there, that will void this trade idea. Something 46 to 44 could be an entry. I think your stop's got to be under the low. I'm getting the small range alert too. That sucks. Yep. All right, I'm removing my order. Well, dang it. Missed the 46 entry by 2 ticks. Well, dang it. Alrighty, well, that was our first mapped out trade. Just didn't get an entry. You'd have had to front run it more than it almost got me in. Back to the drawing board. First target hit. Oh, well. That's where you could. So if you had to got in, that'd have been the first place I tell you to TP, TP, keep a runner back. Dang, that was close. That would have been an easy trade to journal. You were with the trend. It took the initial opening low, got back above the opening. Perfect. Oh, well. All right, so it did take an RTH high. As I said, if you had multiple contracts there, TP there, keep a single runner back just in case. This could be the breakout, from this multi-day consolidation area. So the overnight and the first 30 minutes of the RTH took out yesterday's low and yesterday's high. All right, are they going to get follow through here? Looking pretty anemic there. Had an opportunity to create a backside and a fair value gap there. Could still be a backside, but it won't be in a fair value gap. Go back to a 3-minute chart. I was only on a 1-minute chart looking for that entry on the turnaround. Didn't give it to me. So now it took an RTH high. I'd still like to see price get to here, and then let's see what happens. Here and here. Those are really... So if you got long, congrats. It missed me by a little bit. Remember when we said don't get too excited by 8-point down candles? Bulls control. Laddering tells the story. Looking for a long is the proper play. With that, We do know we are near the top of all of this, where it is often here. Let's pull this back again. So, you got this whole area here. Often it is better to be looking for a short in this area. But we have to admit the strength is with the bulls. It gave us I really wasn't looking for a long, but it gave us a setup, so I had to go with it. So what I would ideally love to see here is it pushes that. Okay. It pushes this a little bit, and then it has to come back in and maybe go to the POC yesterday. That would be just gorgeous. So that's what the next little setup I'm looking for. I would have taken that long. I had an order in, just didn't get me in. And I would keep a single runner back out of discipline. All right, back to a 3-minute chart. It has not even given us the opportunity to map out a short yet, only one long. And you have to favor the bulls until proven otherwise. NQ's almost up 1%. Screens are green. Let's go take a peek at Bitcoin. Still looking for it to get further down. All right, so we grabbed the RTH high. So far, we haven't grabbed that weekly high. If we started vomiting back in, we would see what happens. Certainly not the snappy that you got here. I mean, look when it grabbed this RTH. Look at the strength of this move here. Okay, to the north. It just grabbed this high, the RTH high. So far, we're not even showing signs of that level of strength. But it did take previous day high and previous day low. We'll drop in time frames because it did take an RTH high. If you're long, try to stay long. And if you had a lotto runner, I do think the ideal exit would probably be at this 74. And then capture, let's say you were long from this, you were a little better aggressive than me. You would take 27 points on that. And if for some reason this thing decided to get back up over, you could always re-enter and you'd have 27 points to kind of play with. If you're willing to go for break even here, right? So we'll evaluate that. But if it gets up there to 73, 74 with a lotto runner, not a bad place to just take it. Bulls control. Everyone is now in the upper distribution to above previous day high. Everyone's above their VWAPs. Shorts are counter. Man, that almost was a good trade. No entry for me. Back to the drawing board. A lot more green there on the tech. Let's just go take a peek at everybody again. As we said, NQ's been the strong boy. Certainly has. Russell is well in the upper distribution. Dow is sticking its head into the upper distribution. Bulls control. I would not be shocked we pulled back in, but at this point, that's not happening.
No level, no trade, period. Make price come to you. No prediction trading. What are the break levels telling you?
Remember, we do have a small range alert, and we know 90 to 95% we're not going to have a trend day. So it typically means it takes out a high, it takes out a low, comes back to POC. That is the typical formula. The only thing unique about this particular situation, we're in a multi-day balance. It's going to break out eventually. Is this the breakout? I have no clue. But based off the small opening range, and it took this London, did a nice pullback in all honesty. Took this RTH, looks like we're starting to have some fair value gapping candles to the south. Let me go back to a 3-minute chart real quick. Go back to a 1-minute chart, bounced off that 3-minute front side there, off the wick. All right. First signatures left a fair value gap here. Now we want to see it keep going. Leave this open. Don't touch it. Don't close it. Don't touch it. Let's go back over here and look at the London move there. See? Fair value gap, left it. Fair value gap, left it, and laddered beyond it. That's what we're looking for in the opposite direction if we're looking for a short. Let's keep this fair value gap open. I don't even really want it to come back in here. Now, if you wanted to take a short, like you're just dying to go short just about the middle of that, and your out is just above the closing of it. Said, hey, you know what? I'm going to take a little bit of a risk there that they will keep that open. Well, you would want to short somewhere about 54, and your out's probably 56. If you wanted to be a little aggressive there and a possible short, knowing we're near the top of that range. Shorts are counter, small if at all, never making things worse. And if it fills this fair value gap, I think you should be out. Small stop if you're going to take that. So it got you in. You're up 2 points. I think you could still keep your stop at 56, but if you wanted to bring it to break even, or just, minus 1 point or minus 1 tick, just to give it a little bit of room here, that works. You are counter. You have to expect that it's going to be a break even or a loser. If it happens to work, cool. But it needs to leave this fair value gap open. You got a 2-point bounce, so, I did not take it, by the way. Doesn't mean I'm right. Just not exactly the look I want yet. Early adopter trade. And it's just hanging out here. I would hate that. I would hate that. In fact, if I'd have taken it, I would be out. I'd be out. I'd just exit. That's me. I'm a little more, I like touch and goes. I'm a spoiled brat. I'm just drawing out that fair value gap. You'd like to, ideally, I want to see it stay open and then it ladders beyond it. Looks like it's about to fill it. Yeah, filled. So that's why I like to see them left and it keeps going. Rarely, I will take that trade we just talked about from time to time, but it's got to be just at this trade location that it's like, yeah, I'm willing to die on that hill here. I'm not willing to die on that hill here. If we were given that trade up here, I would be more willing to do that trade. So we do very well in chop typically. That's right. We do. Got to give us real levels. Right now, there's only one trade we mapped out, which was against the opening, 46 to 44. It only went down to 46.50, so no entry, no trade. Account balance safe. Once again, another 8-point candle down, and the bulls are marching right back. Bulls control. You get a little pullback there to 54 to 53. If you wanted to take a long, I mean, everything is on the side of the bulls here. So depending on how aggressive you want to be, 54 to 53 could be a long. I would target here. I'll pull that down to 53-ish. To here. It's tight. Mm. All right. If you did 54, you're in.
Bigger picture, single prints, ranges.
All you got was a 2-point bounce so far. All right, Bulls, what you gonna do? Well, I took 53 and I got a 1-point stop loss on it now. It needs to go or I'm out with a little 1-point stop loss. And I do know we got this small range and I'm like, just it's real difficult to expect it. So my stop is now at break even and hopefully it makes it up here. And if not, oh well, it'll be a break even trade. Now I'm going to cover commissions, hands free.
Should I be trading? Am I biased? Am I following price or fighting price?
Go, get up there. Come on. And I'm certainly small. Certainly not a trade location I'm going to load up on. Like I said, my stop is at commissions now. If it comes back and gets me, that'll probably be it for me entering trades today. Not in love with what we're seeing. We're on the right side of price action, though. Come on, pop up there. Really looking to price coming here, as we've said a few times. It's really the first place I expect price to go. Come on. Pop it. Let's go. I'm going to lock in one stupid point. Come on, Pop. Let's go. Get up there. Small range days. It's difficult to expect a breakout. I'm flat. It's difficult to expect a breakout. But we're on the right side of price action looking for a long there. So I'm flat. Whatever. Wait for something new. I'm out. Oh well. So 53 to 55 was kind of the call there.
Stretch.
Only
Workout. Get up.
it only went up a couple points. You know, depends on how aggressive you want to be with staying in the trade. For me, I'm out. I'll wait for something new. And at that point, we were all up here and we were all above VWAP. So it made a lot of sense. And now, boy, things are changing a little bit here. So let's watch. Never get married to a trade. It's like going out on a date. You know, you either get along or you don't. It's either working or it's not. So back to the drawing board. Looking at a 3-minute chart. Remember, we do have a small range alert day. Typically, that means no follow through. It'll take a high, it'll take a low, it'll finish at POC. Rarely does it end up being a trend day. We do know we are up here near the top of this. Would it be a shock if it pulled back down and came back down here to 25? No, but I can't go short yet. It is difficult longing up here, that's for sure. All right. I wait. All right, back to the opening. Is it going to defend the opening against the VWAP again? I'd love for that thing to push on down here to the halfback, and let's see what happens. Although we see it bounce off the opening many times. I just know we are in a small range day where it takes out a high, it takes out a low. So that would be taking out a low, coming to the halfback. 34 to 32 would be a great bounce area for it to get back up. All the way down here to 29. So I'd like to see it come to here, to here. So it did take the RTH low there. IB highs and lows in 30 seconds. Come on. No, push down more. Don't just do that little thing. More. More, more. Push down into our yellow box.
IB high. IB low.
And then let's see it get back up. Now, if it goes all the way to 25, oh well. What do you do? Almost to the yellow box. All right. Oh. Telling you, when we get those small range alert days, it is a little challenging. But we knew we were going to take out a low, we're going to take out a high. I wanted it to come down a little bit more. 8-point candles all over the place and a small range. Very challenging. Remember, this multi-session POC is resting right down in here. Wouldn't be shocked it comes back and hangs here. But I'd love to see it push down into here and get back above. Eight-point candle after 8-point candle. Hard to trade. I want to go to a 30-minute chart for a second. Yeah, 29 would be great. Push down to 29. So as I said, we'd like to see something from here to here. It doesn't mean take the apex trade as a knife catch type of trade here. We could allow it to come down in here, get back up and give us some ladders. Certainly entered the yellow box region. Let's go ahead and drop in time frames. Made it down into our yellow box. Bulls still control. We're on the side that we should still be looking for longs, in my opinion. No evidence of laddering back yet. I'm going to drop to a 30-second chart for a second. We'll see if this will be the first ladder here. Or we're going to push further down. This 37 level. See if it's going to be a first ladder here off 37, or if we're going to go further down. All right, laddered off 37. Let's see if we get a second opportunity here. I mean, if it's going to go all the way up there to that high, hopefully we'll get a second opportunity. I wasn't interested in the first ladder, except to see if it bounced off 37. $39 to $37 could be a long if you wanted to be a little aggressive. Like I said, it would be aggressive if you choose to take it. Maybe it needs to make a new low. And then the laddering starts over. Certainly not moving back with a vengeance. Let's see if you can get a big white candle now. Or if it's going to make a new low. All right, at this point, I would make sure you got a paper cut stop loss in. Because if this thing pops up and gives us a big white candle, you're in a great trade. You can't get hurt now. Beautiful.
No level, no trade, period. Make price come to you. No prediction trading. What are the break levels telling you?
All right, congratulations if you took it. Keep a runner back. And beautiful. And you're looking for it to reach all the way up to here. Nice trade if you took it. You just can't let it hurt you now. Nice. Very nice. Almost at a 10 pointer. If you had multiple contracts, I'd peel something off here at 10. Keep a single runner back, and your day is over. You're just waiting now. Congratulations. And we got the big white candle we were looking for. Very nice. That's what we do, guys. That's what we do. Will it continue? I don't know. But we do know the characteristic of the day. And we got exactly what we're looking for. This is the bull's best chance to get the weekly high. So you got 20 points to there. And you got 30 to 35 points to here. 40 is pushing the top of that strong range. So probably what I would do if it pops above the 20 pointer, just move your stop to a 20 pointer and let it do whatever it's going to do. So let's let it pop the 20. Let's say you're up 22, 23, 24, 25 points. Move your stop to 20. Nice job, guys. Nice job. Come on. Get up there. Get up there. Nice long. Will it follow through? I don't know. All we can do is our best trading.
Bigger picture. Single prints. Ranges.
Andrew, I got your message. No problem, buddy. Yeah, nice big trade here. You know, we waited, we waited, we waited. We wanted price to drop down into our box here. It got there, 39 to 37, and then we wanted a big white candle. You know, it happened. So nice job. You're welcome. Ideally, we'd like it to continue through. This is the best chance for the bulls to do that. Almost up 20 points. Come on, pop it. Come on. Gosh, I love those moves. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Come on. Come on. Yeah. All right, come on. Keep going. Another fine play calling day, Sir George. Thank you. So now it's just managing your runner. We do know we have a small range day. It typically does not lead to a breakout. So if you wanted to take your 20 pointer there and be done, cool. If you want to just keep it like at 10 pointer here and let it see if we can pop. As soon as it touches that weekly high, I would lock in 20 pointer. Just because it's a small range day and we're near the edge of the several session range. Makes sense to me. You do you. So congratulations. If you're still long. And wouldn't be shocked if it pulled back in here because of the small range day. But you had an opportunity for a 10 pointer and a 20 pointer so far. Come on, get up there.
Stop trading in 10
There we
minutes.
go.
Only trade your best trading hours. Take a break. Walk away. Be done. Be content. Adjust afternoon risk setting.
Very nice. Come on, get up there. Very nice. Get up there. Just think there's people shorting this, and you're holding a long runner. All right, so now you're somewhere 24 points up. I'd go ahead and move that your lotto runner to 20 just because it's a small range day. You do you. You can just keep it at your entry, or you can keep it at 10 points. But makes a lot of sense to me just because of the small range day and where we are at on the chart. Anything more to the north is just major bonus. You know, and hopefully it makes it to here. That would be, I think, a stretch goal. Nothing to do but the holding now. So we had an opportunity for long here. I took break even on that. And we're talking about it's at the top. You got to be careful. Hopefully it goes up. But if not, we were looking for a pullback to here. We got the pullback to here. We reloaded, and this was their best chance to get up here. They got up there. Will it continue? I have no clue. We did our job. We took the trade that was with the strength. And then when it did a pullback, we waited and waited until it hit our area we were interested in engaging in price, and we engaged. Nice job. Nice job. Come on, get up there.
Stretch. Workout. Get up.
Get up there. So if you got long there from the 39 to 37, you had a fantastic day. You don't need to trade any more today. Take your profits as they are presented. If you did multiple contracts, we recommended taking your initial contracts off at 10 points, keeping a lotto runner back. You could put that lotto runner at your break even. You could put it at 10 points. You can put it at 20 points. I do think if we make it all the way up to here, this would be a fine place to TP your runner, and locking that in, because that would be, let's just say 35 points. Okay. Then if it decided to break and you wanted to use this structure as a place to get long, well, you have 35 points in your lotto runner that you could afford a 10-point stop loss, right? Because you already have 35 points in the lotto runner. So you do you. My only job is to be the navigator. You're the pilot. And I try to point out what's on the radar. Where are we at? What looks like a high probability target? What looks like a high probability entry? Well, we're rounding here at the top of the hour, guys. I'm going to call it here for me. I actually got to go buy my dog some dog food. Completely out. So I promised my daughter, last night, she texted me and said, "Did you buy our dog food?" I was like, "I promised to do it this morning." So if you're long, you're on the right side of price action. Hold that runner, manage it as we just discussed, in my opinion. And congratulations on being patient, waiting for the trade. And, the big test was, when we went long here, were you able to just take a break even trade or a small profit trade, not allow this thing to go all the way against you, not being crazy and adding to that losing trade, just knowing, hey, if it goes down, we're looking for price to come here, and then we'll look to re-engage. And that's how we traded it. So YouTube, I'm going to bid you farewell.